Hello again, and welcome to the FFT 1.3 Season 5 tournament. Our contestants this time around are CT5Holy and Ryason55, the 55th heir to the Ryason estate. We have calculators and nobility among us. Let's see which teams are responsible for bringing them here. CT5Holy has a knight who says "Ni", a sacred, a monk, and a priest, who I assume is the proud owner of a few holy hand grenades. Now, everything about CT5Holy's team spells earth damage. That's right, every day for CT5Holy's team is Earth Day. So if this were my team, I would be consuming twice the amount of electricity all the time. I mean, just think about it. The electricity has to go somewhere. Storing all that electricity in batteries is very expensive. Just consider your laptop. That's lithium, and it's very heavy, and to mine and refine lithium and ship it around is expensive. So, I'm just being frugal. But relax, I'm just throwing you off for a loop. Every unit in CT5Holy's team can either negate or absorb earth damage. So, they can use earth skills with wild abandon and under no threat of friendly fire. So, for CT5Holy, it's basically Call of Duty Black Ops. Now, Ryason's team is comprised of a lancer, a monk, a knight, and a chemist. Now, I say the knight is on Ryason's side, but if you look at her brave and her counter magic, that statement is under dispute, because this knight will be helping the sacred kill her own units. That's one of the problems with equipping counter magic on your units. It makes you very sensitive to the matchup. In this case, Ryason is up against earth damage, and he has no earth absorption of his own. So the matchup could be better for him. So if Ryason comes out on top, it will not be thanks to this knight's reaction ability. So let's jump right in. The first battle is at 67. North wall of Bethla Garrison. So what we want to watch out for is some friendly fire damage in the form of Mimic Titan. Mimicking Mimic Titan. The monk pulls a Crouching Tiger Hidden Dragon and jumps right up there with fly. The rest are forced to go at it by foot. Throws a Yagyu Darkness, a monk with throw. Not much speed, or perhaps just bad compatibility. So those Yagyu Darknesses amount to nothing more than chip damage. CT5Holy giving himself a speed advantage, so we can charge it in there. First Mimic Titan, for a respectable 140. And that's going to hurt a lot more once the Sacred penetrates the lines and hits many of Ryason's units at once. The Chemist restoring the Mimic Titan damage. Both teams are pretty much even so far. Trading Demi 2 and jump. And a Kamaitachi, no don't act proc. And a nasty 440 dual-wielding punch by the monk. That is Ryason's most potent unit. But he's not very potent when he's on the floor. So Ryason needs to get that monk back up on his feet. Take out that sacred so that he's under no threat of friendly fire. More Kamaitachi. The knight taking the high ground because Elemental has infinite vert. So she can basically snipe from up there. The priest is not safe. The Lancer continues to jump on that Sacred, not dealing that much damage because Sacreds have huge MP pools. Or sorry, HP pools. Sacred, more Mimic Titan, still only hitting one unit. I attribute that partly to the uneven terrain of that ledge. So his Mimic Titan, unlike Elemental, does not have infinite vert in its AoE. And that priest is forced to sit the battle out for the time being. So any unit that hits the floor on CT5Holy's team is going to stay down until that priest, Stone Axe status, is eliminated. more slow. CT5Holy attempting to keep his speed advantage. And ouch! Was that? I think that was Meatbone Slash. Unfortunate for the Lancer. It's unfortunate for Ryason too, as the AI just ignores the opponent's reaction abilities. It's always nice seeing Meatbone Slash trigger. So both teams regrouping. Injured units on both sides, both the Sacred and its Knight. The Knight is now dead, thanks to damage split. The one thing I'm curious about is that Sacred. Monsters, at least this monster, can't heal himself, so he's not going to get back in the fight unless he catches a heal. And I believe the only one who can do that is this Priest. But the Priest is on the other side of the map. And with only 3 movement, might I add. So that Sacred's going to be sitting out for at least a little while. Priest moving in, giving his Monk a lift. Monk's back into it, thanks the Priest with Chakra. Okay, that Monk, just the Knight and the Chemist are trading turns over that Monk's body. But that Chemist is now dead, so the turn trading ends there. Now I'm not so sure. Can Ryason's Lancer revive? He's going to need to, because that's the only unit left. And will this kill her? Nope, she dodges. Yes, she can revive, but not at 100%, and with only Wish. And with CT5Holy's speed advantage, he'll do very well at keeping that Chemist down. And she's down herself, so the first round goes to CT5Holy. The second battle has us at the ruins outside Zalon City. Now, Mimic Titan did not have much of a showing last match, partly because Ryason did a good job keeping that Sacred injured. But what Ryason lacks is some sharp offense. He has it in the form of that Monk there, but CT5Holy's Knight did a good job keeping that Monk down. That Monk is essentially glass. And against Mimic Titan and that Knight's damage, Ryason can't sustain the offense he needs. Once again, CT5Holy gives himself a speed advantage. That Knight is Don't Move, which will give Ryason's Monk a bit of breathing room. Will it be enough breathing room? Missed this Berserk. Now, that was probably a bit foolish on CT5Holy's part. Well, it's not CT5Holy's error, of course. It's the AI, but if that Monk was Berserked, the Monk would hurt like hell, to say the least. Pitfall, okay. So a good showing, keeping that Priest down. If Ryason can keep that Priest down, then CT5Holy's speed advantage will be eliminated, as well as his revival capabilities. Nice use of earth damage there, as I was saying. He can both heal and damage at the same time, creating HP differentials that rival or surpass splash damage from, say, Drought or Cyclops. And Sacred penetrating lines with Mimic Titan, knocking down that Monk. As I said before, that Monk needs to stay alive. Now, 59% Wish, that's not going to be reliable enough. He's gonna have to rely on that Chemist to keep the Monk on his feet. And if that Chemist is dead, as she soon will be, it's all up to that Lancer now to resurrect the Monk. But at 59%, it's a big gamble, to say the least. Too much of a gamble for the Lancer, as she chooses instead to go on offense. Which reminds me of Pride and Havermeyer's battle, when Havermeyer's Lancer went on offense. But as before, this Lancer while having appreciable offense, doesn't have as much bite as that monk would. So it's a curious choice. Chemist is back up, healing herself. I believe she'll be able to live through one Mimic Titan, but sadly not a shake-off. I believe that Sacred has high brave, so his attacks hurt a lot. I believe it's the Lancer and the Knight. Now just the Lancer, as before. Now, Ryason is on notice. He has only this Lancer standing between him and Oblivion. And I don't think the Lancer will have what it takes to get him out of this. So CT5Holy is sitting pretty right now. Even without copious amounts of haste use, CT5Holy still held his own. Which proves that against, when you consider matchup, it's not just the haste that wins it for you. Now, all that's left is to just finish off this Lancer. She has a lot of evasion, which is why it's taking so much time. Holy proc, touching off that damage with a bit more. Monk is keen to share it. More hasting. Hasting everybody. Haste all around. Doesn't really matter by this point, because the match is over. Thanks for playing, Ryason, but I'm sorry you have been sentenced to oblivion. And CT5Holy, congratulations, you'll be moving on.